Welcome back, wrestling fans, to Wainsider, where we dive deep into the raw, unfiltered heart of the WWE Universe. Tonight, we unravel the devastating moment when Liv Morgan delivered heartbreaking news about Dominik Mysterio, a tragedy that has left fans in tears and the Bloodline's legacy teetering on the edge. This isn't just a storyline, it's a soul-shaking tale of power, betrayal, and family fractures that will grip you from the first breath. The Bloodline has been WWE's cornerstone, a dynasty built on Roman Reigns' iron reign as the tribal chief. His dominance, backed by Jey and Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman's cunning, was a fortress of family loyalty. But beneath the surface, silent resentments festered. Jey's quest for independence clashed with Jimmy's devotion, Solo's ambition simmered, and Roman's shadow loomed large. The Anoa'i family's pride was their strength, but also their fault line. Dominik Mysterio, the son of Rey Mysterio, entered this saga as an outsider, his ties to the Judgment Day faction a counterpoint to the Bloodline's blood bond. His relationship with Liv Morgan, a mix of love and manipulation, added a volatile spark. The Bloodline watched warily, their own tensions mirrored in Dominik's struggle to prove himself amidst family expectations and faction loyalty. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. Roman's leadership demanded absolute control, but it bred unease. Jey Uso's YEET movement was a rebellion, a bid to escape the tribal chief's grip. Jimmy, aligned with Solo's new bloodline, felt sidelined, his loyalty tested by years of standing in Roman's shadow. Paul Heyman, the wise man, held the family together, but his recent health scare, a reported heart issue, weakened his influence, leaving the faction vulnerable. Liv Morgan's rise in the women's division was a parallel storm. Her obsession with Dominik, a mix of genuine affection and calculated chaos, made her a wildcard. The Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, and Damian Priest, relied on Dominik's loyalty, but Liv's pull was a constant threat. The tension between her and the Bloodline was subtle, a clash of agendas waiting to erupt. The Raw arena in Miami was electric, the crowd buzzing as Dominik faced Jey Uso in a high-stakes match. The Bloodline's presence at ringside, led by Solo, cast a shadow, their eyes cold with intent. Liv, cheering Dominik from the commentary desk, was a beacon of support, but backstage whispers hinted at trouble. The Bloodline saw Dominik as a pawn, a way to assert dominance over a rival faction. Sami Zayn, the honorary use, felt the strain. His bond with Jey kept him tied to the Bloodline, but his friendship with Kevin Owens pulled him in another direction. The pressure to choose sides weighed heavy, his heart torn between loyalty and independence. Sami's health, chronic back pain from years of high-risk moves, was a quiet concern, mirroring the unseen fractures in the family. The women's division, too, was on edge. Rhea Ripley, Dominik's former ally, watched Liv's influence with growing resentment. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, pillars of the roster, whispered about the Bloodline's aggression, their own bonds tested by the chaos. The locker room was a tinderbox, with alliances shifting under the weight of unspoken grudges. The build-up to the tragedy was slow, a creeping dread. Dominik's performance was fierce, but his exhaustion was evident, a lingering shoulder injury slowing his moves. Liv's cheers were fervent, but her eyes darted to the Bloodline, sensing their menace. Backstage, Triple H monitored the situation, aware of the faction's volatility but drawn to the drama's pull. The attack came like a bolt from the dark, a shocking climax that froze the arena. As Dominik stood tall, after a near fall, Solo Sikoa and the new Bloodline, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jimmy Uso, stormed the ring. A brutal Samoan spike from Solo sent Dominik crashing to the mat, his body limp as blood trickled from his mouth. The crowd roared in horror, Liv's scream piercing the chaos. Liv Morgan's heartbreaking news came moments later, delivered in a tear-choked promo on Raw. Dominik was in critical condition, his shoulder injury compounded by internal trauma from the attack. She spoke of his fight, his heart, his struggle to prove himself, her voice breaking as she vowed retribution. The WWE Universe wept, their chants for Dominik a mix of love and grief. https://www.youtube.com/watch. V = 79 Su 7 RH200E. Backstage, chaos erupted. Rhea Ripley, despite her rocky history with Dominik, rushed to his side, her face pale with shock. Finn Balor and Damian Priest, Judgment Day's leaders, seethed, their loyalty to Dominik clashing with their distrust of Liv. The Bloodline's actions weren't just an attack, they were a declaration of war, a betrayal of wrestling's unspoken code. Triple H's reaction was swift, his face etched with fury as he confronted Solo backstage. Whispers suggested the attack was unscripted, a rogue move by Solo to assert his leadership. Social media exploded with #PrayForDominik, as fans accused WWE of negligence, citing leaked reports of ignored warnings about Solo's volatility. The scandal shook the company's trust. https://www.youtube.com/watch. V = 79 Su 7 RH200E. Jey Uso was shattered, his bond with Dominik forged in their shared underdog journeys. He confronted Jimmy, his twin, in a heated exchange that left the locker room silent. "This ain't family," Jey said, his voice trembling. Jimmy's loyalty to Solo blinded him, deepening the Anoa'i family's rift. Roman, absent but watching, felt the weight of his legacy crumbling. Sami Zayn's grief was raw. His history with Dominik, from NXT to the main roster, made the attack personal. He posted on X, calling it a betrayal of everything we fight for. His own health concerns loomed, the attack a reminder of wrestling's toll. The WWE Universe rallied, their support for Dominik a lifeline in the darkness. The Bloodline's legacy was at a breaking point. Solo's faction, emboldened by the attack, saw it as a power move, but it alienated fans. Jey's YEET movement offered hope, a counterpoint to Solo's aggression, but Roman's silence was deafening. The family's pride, once their strength, was now a chain dragging them into chaos. The women's division felt the ripple effects. Bianca and Jade, shaken by the violence, dedicated matches to Dominik, their promos raw with anger. Ray's conflicted emotions, anger at Liv, guilt for Dominik, spilled into her promos, a rare vulnerability. The locker room dynamics shifted, with superstars questioning the Bloodline's unchecked power. The scandal grew uglier as lawsuits loomed. Dominik's family, led by Rey Mysterio, accused WWE of failing to protect their son, citing prior incidents with Solo's faction. Fans held vigils, their signs reading, "Dominik's fight, a testament to his impact." The trust between WWE and its audience hung by a thread, a wound deepened by betrayal. https://www.youtube.com/watch. V = 79 Su 7 RH200E. Rey Mysterio, a legend, was broken. His son's fight for identity had been his pride, but now it was his pain. He reached out to Liv, their shared grief a fragile bond, but his distrust of her motives lingered. The Mysterio family's strength was tested, their legacy intertwined with the Bloodline's chaos. Triple H faced mounting pressure. His update on Dominik's condition was grim but hopeful, promising accountability for Solo's actions. Backstage, he confided in Stephanie McMahon about the guilt of letting the drama spiral. New safety protocols, dubbed Dom's Stand, by fans, were rumored, a bittersweet step toward change. The emotional aftermath was raw. Liv's heartbreak was real, her love for Dominik a driving force. She trained relentlessly, vowing to face the Bloodline in the ring. Her promos, once playful, now carried a fierce edge, a woman scorned by betrayal. The WWE Universe stood with her, their chants a chorus of defiance. The Anoa'i family's matriarchs, like Patricia Anoa'i, watched in sorrow. The attack on Dominik wasn't just a storyline, it was a wound to their legacy, a reminder that pride can fracture blood. Jey's pleas for unity fell on deaf ears, Jimmy's loyalty to Solo a wedge between brothers. As backlash loomed, rumors swirled of Dominik's recovery, a chance to confront the Bloodline. The anticipation was electric, fueled by fans' belief in his resilience. His injury wasn't just a setback, it was a spark, igniting a fire to reclaim his place. Liv's vow to fight for him became a rallying cry. The WWE Universe mourned the ideals the Bloodline once stood for: family, strength, loyalty. Solo's attack was a betrayal that cut deep, a wound to the heart of wrestling's soul. The fans' chants for Dominik, their anger at Solo, their hope for Liv, they were a chorus of a fractured dynasty. Tonight, we reflect on Dominik Mysterio, not just as a superstar, but as a young man fighting for his name in a world of giants. Liv Morgan's heartbreak is our own, a mirror to the pain of betrayal and the strength of blood. Let this story remind us that trust is fragile, loyalty can break, and legacy is earned through heart. The Bloodline saga continues, but its soul lies in the fight to rise above betrayal.